Hello. Today we are going to look at more examples on how to change the subject of a formula when the subject occurs twice. So we need to make L, in this case, the subject of this formula. T equals 2 pi multiplied by the square root of L. Now, the L appears on the right-hand side, but it's not by itself. It is the square root of L. Now, the best thing to do in this case is to get rid of all the terms, numbers, call it digit, call it letters, or coefficients, so that are in front of square root of L, because you need to leave the L by itself on one side of the equation, and in this case, it's best to leave it on the right-hand side. I'm going to tell you why. So let's get rid of 2 pi. Now, 2 pi square root of L means 2 times pi times square root of L. And so to get rid of 2 pi, we have to divide by 2 pi both sides. So you get rid of 2 pi from the right-hand side. There you go. So the left-hand side becomes t over 2 pi, while the right-hand side becomes square root of L. Now, to get the L by itself, we need to get rid of the square root. Again, how do you get rid of the square root? By applying the square on both sides. So you put both sides into the square. So put this in brackets, put square of the left-hand side and the square of the right-hand side. So opposite of the square root is the square, and opposite of the square is the square root. So it depends how the subject appears. And so in this case, I'm going to have t to the power of 2 over 4 pi to the power of 2. Pi to the power of 2 equals, now I get the L out of the bracket, equals L. So square of the square root is the L by itself. So this is the answer. So I see I have L by itself on one side of the equation. It appears on the right-hand side. So if you want the L to look on the left-hand side, then we're going to have L equals t to the power of 2 over 4 pi to the power of 2. Now here the power, when you power a fraction, you power the numerator becomes to the power of 2 and the denominator as well. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4, pi to the power of 2 is pi to the power of 2. So this would be the final answer. Next question. Again, we need to make x the subject of the formula. Again, is a square root. And to get rid of the square root, we look at all of these because it's a whole denominator at this stage. So get rid of the denominator exactly as it is. So to get rid of the whole denominator, we multiply both sides by the whole denominator. So this is what the next step is going to look like, the next stage of this equation. Y that multiplies, so multiply both sides, multiplies 1 minus x to the power of 2 equals 1. Let's rewrite the whole fraction as it is, times 1 minus x to the power of 2. Can you see now? We can cross both of them out, we cancel them out, and then the next step is going to look like this: y times 1 minus x to the power of 2 equals 1. Now, as you see, my x again is inside the square root, and again the whole square root, because I can't get rid of the square root at this stage yet, because I have the y. I need to get rid of the y by doing what? Opposite operation. So divided by y, and so next step is going to look like this, still under the square root, equals 1 over y. Now, I need to get rid of the square root because I have just the square root on the left-hand side. And now I can get rid of the square root. So how do I get rid of the square root? Opposite, always opposite operation, by putting both sides to the power of 2, by squaring both sides to the power of 2. And so now I'm going to have, all right, minus 1 minus x to the power of 2 equals 1 over y to the power of 2. So 1 over y to the power of 2 becomes 1 to the power of 2 y to the power of 2, or 1 over y to the power of 2. It's just a 2, this one here. 2. Right, now I just need the x, so I get rid of the 1 on the left-hand side by doing minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. And so I have minus x to the power of 2 equals 1 over y to the power of 2 minus 1. There you go, got rid of the 1. Now here I have a minus, which I have to get rid of before I find out, before I can, or I have the chance to leave the x on the left-hand side. And how do I get rid of the minus x? It's by dividing. Now there is a little misconception that goes on here, because usually when we see the minus like this, minus x to the power of 2 or minus x, we think to get rid of the minus, we do plus, plus. Actually, minus x is the same as minus 1 times x. So it's the same as this, minus 1 times x to the power of 2. Can you see? It's not minus 1 minus x. All right, it's minus 1 times x. This is the meaning of the minus in front of the x or any letter, any variable. And so to get rid of the minus 1, you divide by minus 1 both sides. So divide by minus 1, divide by minus 1. And so the next step is going to look like that. X to the power of 2 equals, if I divide by minus 1 both sides, I'm going to have minus 1 over y to the power of 2, minus 1 divided by minus 1 plus 1. Okay, so divide both sides by minus 1. And so this one from plus becomes a minus, and minus 1 from minus becomes a plus. And so can you see now I have a power of 2 on the left-hand side is x to the power of 2, and I like to swap because I don't like the minus in front. So when appears minus and then the term and then plus, so I like to start with a positive. It just looks neater. It's not wrong, but yeah. Now have a look. So 1 minus y to the power of 2, and so to find the x, we simply do so it's to the power of 2, we do the square root of both sides, and then the final answer is going to be x equals square root of 1 minus 1 over y to the power of 2. Okay, and that's it. The next question, we have to make x the subject of this formula. Again, we begin by getting rid of the denominator, so we multiply by x minus p both sides, x minus p, just like that. Get rid of the x minus p, and then you have x minus p multiplied by y equals x plus p. Okay, right at this stage, I'm going to let you finish this equation, or make x the subject of this stage of the equation. Can you see there is a bracket here? So you need to do the expansion first, and then be careful you put on one side of the equation, which I advise you to put them on the left-hand side. So all the terms that have the x, so that you can factorize. So this is the end of this lesson. Have a lovely day, and thank you for watching Mathssteps. Bye-bye.